The chariot wheels threw up dust that hung in the desert air like incense. Inside the ornate carriage, a man sat alone with an impossible text. The words spoke of suffering, of silence, of a lamb led to slaughter. The eunuch from Ethiopia, treasurer to Queen Candace, commander of vast wealth, master of thousands, could not decipher the meaning. He had traveled over 1,500 miles, Jerusalem to Gaza. Questions burned hotter than the Negev sun. Who was this suffering servant? Why would God allow such humiliation? The road stretched empty before him. Behind him, the holy city faded into memory. He'd come seeking answers. He was leaving with more questions. Then a stranger appeared, running alongside the chariot, not walking, running. The year is approximately AD 34. The dust of Pentecost has barely settled. 50 days earlier, tongues of fire descended on frightened disciples hiding in an upper room. 3,000 souls were baptized in a single day. The religious establishment in Jerusalem is watching this movement with growing alarm. But the gospel has remained locked within Jewish walls. The apostles preach in the temple courts. They heal in Solomon's colonnade. They share meals in Hebrew homes. The barrier between Jew and Gentile stands firm, a wall 15 centuries old, built on the foundation of Abraham's covenant. God is about to shatter it. Not in Jerusalem, not in a synagogue, on a desert road where no one is watching. The Gaza Road runs southwest from Jerusalem, cutting through the Judean wilderness. In ancient times, 5 cities of the Philistines dominated this coastal plain. Now it's a corridor between empires, Rome to the north, Egypt to the south, and beyond Egypt, the ancient kingdom of Cush, Ethiopia. The land where Moses' wife was born, where the Queen of Sheba once ruled. Where Jewish communities have flourished for centuries, ever since Solomon's reign. Philip the Evangelist doesn't know any of this when the angel speaks to him. Philip is in Samaria when it happens. The city is experiencing revival. Demons are being cast out. Paralytics are walking. The joy is so intense that Peter and John have come from Jerusalem to witness it. Philip, one of the 7 deacons chosen to serve tables, has become a mighty preacher. Crowds press around him. Miracles multiply. This is every minister's dream. Then the angel speaks, "Get up, go south to the road that goes down from Jerusalem to Gaza." No explanation, no context, just a direction. The road to Gaza is deserted. The Greek word used is eremos, desolate, uninhabited, abandoned. It's the same word used to describe where Jesus was tempted, where John the Baptist preached, where demons dwell. Why would God pull him from a harvest to send him to emptiness? Philip goes anyway. This is the pattern of divine disruption. God called Abraham from Ur's prosperity to Canaan's uncertainty. He sent Joseph from favorite son to slave to prisoner to prince. He directed Jonah away from comfort toward Nineveh's chaos. Obedience precedes understanding. Philip packs nothing, takes no supplies, walks south into the heat, 30 miles through wilderness. Alone with his thoughts and his faith, he doesn't know he's about to witness the first Gentile conversion in church history. The chariot appears like a mirage, ornate, expensive, moving slowly through the heat, the kind of vehicle that carries diplomats and kings. In the ancient world, such a carriage would cost more than most men earn in 10 lifetimes. Inside sits a man caught between 2 worlds. He is Ethiopian, from the kingdom of Cush. He serves Queen Candace, a title passed down through generations of female monarchs. His position is treasurer, controller of a kingdom's wealth, trusted with gold and grain and diplomatic secrets. But he is also a eunuch, castrated, either by choice or force, either to serve in a royal harem without threat, or to rise in political ranks without the distraction of dynasty. The practice is ancient, common in Eastern courts, but forbidden in Jewish law. Deuteronomy is clear. No one who is emasculated or has his male organ cut off shall enter the assembly of the Lord. He cannot enter the temple, cannot join the congregation, cannot fully convert. Yet he worships the God of Israel anyway. He has made the journey to Jerusalem, over 1,000 miles through desert and danger, just to pray from the outer courts, to long for what he cannot have. Now he's reading Isaiah, chapter 53. The forbidden scroll that rabbis debate and Romans ignore. He was led like a sheep to the slaughter, and as a lamb before its shearer is silent, so he did not open his mouth. The words make no sense. Prophets speak of coming kings, not suffering servants. The Spirit speaks to Philip, "Go to that chariot and stay near it." Philip runs. He hears the eunuch reading aloud. In the ancient world, everyone reads aloud. Philip calls out, "Do you understand what you're reading?" The eunuch looks down, sees a Jewish stranger. He asks the question that changes his eternity. How can I, unless someone explains it to me? He invites Philip up. The eunuch asks, "Who is the prophet talking about? Himself or someone else?" It's the question that has haunted Jewish scholars for centuries. Is Isaiah speaking of Israel? Of himself? Of a future king? Philip begins with that very passage, then unfolds the entire gospel. He tells of Jesus, born in Bethlehem, raised in Nazareth, baptized in the Jordan. He speaks of miracles, blind eyes opened, deaf ears unstopped, dead children raised. He describes the opposition, Pharisees plotting, Sadducees scheming, Romans watching. Then the betrayal, the trial, the whipping that tore flesh from bone, the cross. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. Every word of Isaiah 53 came true. The suffering servant wasn't a metaphor, wasn't Israel, wasn't symbolic. It was Jesus, despised and rejected, pierced for transgressions, crushed for iniquities. He tells of the resurrection, the empty tomb, the appearances, the ascension, and finally, the commission. Go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. All creation. Not just Jews, not just the circumcised, not just the physically whole. The eunuch's heart pounds. He has been excluded his entire life. Too foreign for Ethiopia's old gods. Too mutilated for Israel's true God. Caught in the gap between nations and laws. But this gospel, this message of a suffering Messiah who died for the unworthy, it includes even him. They come to water. In the desert, this is miracle enough. The eunuch doesn't hesitate. Look, here is water. What can stand in the way of my being baptized? Everything should stand in the way. The law, tradition, 15 centuries of covenant boundary markers. But Philip knows what the eunuch doesn't yet understand. The cross has torn the dividing wall. The resurrection has opened doors that Moses sealed. The Spirit is being poured out on all flesh. If you believe with all your heart, you may. The eunuch's response is immediate. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. They go down into the water together. Philip baptizes him in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. The Ethiopian treasurer, excluded by birth, by choice, by mutilation, rises from the water a child of God. Fully accepted, fully loved, fully included. Then Philip vanishes, not walks away, not says goodbye. The Spirit of the Lord snatches him away. The Greek word is harpazo, meaning to seize, to catch up, to rapture. The same word used when Paul describes believers being caught up to meet the Lord in the air. One moment, Philip is there. The next, he's gone. The eunuch looks around. Joy floods his heart. He doesn't see Philip again, but he doesn't mourn. He goes on his way rejoicing, the kind of joy that spills out. That can't be contained. Tradition says he brought the gospel to Ethiopia, that he became the first missionary to Africa, that the Ethiopian church, one of the oldest continuous Christian communities in the world, traces its roots to this unnamed eunuch baptized by a vanishing apostle. Philip appears in Azotus, 20 miles north. the same city once called Ashdod, where the Philistines brought the Ark of the Covenant and suffered plagues. Now it becomes the next stop on Philip's preaching tour. He travels from city to city, proclaiming the good news, until he reaches Caesarea. There he settles, raises 4 daughters who prophesy, hosts Paul decades later during his final journey to Jerusalem. But nothing in his ministry will match the divine choreography of this moment. Think about what just happened. The Ethiopian represents everyone who has ever felt excluded, too different, too damaged, too far gone. If the gospel can reach him, isolated in a chariot, mutilated by law, African in a Jewish world, it can reach anyone. Philip represents everyone who has ever had to leave success to pursue obedience, who walked away from crowds to meet one person in a desert. God cares more about the one than the 99. Somewhere right now, someone is reading words they don't understand, seeking a God they can't reach, longing for inclusion they've been denied. And somewhere, an ordinary believer is being called to an extraordinary obedience, even when it means vanishing from where we'd rather stay.